This video demonstrates how you can collect student work electronically, and if you have a learning management system such as Seesaw or Schoology or Google Classroom, this really isn't going to be a problem because you've got tools built in these products to collect that work very easily. So if you need some help with that, please let me know and we can go over how you might collect work with those tools. It's pretty straightforward and we can do that in a live demo. But what if you don't have a true learning management system? Well, there are a couple of tools that you might be able to use. If you don't have a LMS, you can use Google Forms or Google Folders to collect work as long as students have an ashme.org email account. So that's what we're going to look at here in my sample. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive and pick New and pick More and pick Google Form. And we can create a very simple form to collect student work. So we'll call this Simple Form to Collect Work. Now, we'll make sure the name of this is the same here. The email address, because these are going to be ashme.org users, all I need to do is ask the computer to automatically collect that information. So I'm going to go over here and we'll just restrict this to our ashme.org users and hit save, and then it'll automatically collect that email from students, so we won't even need to do that. We really only need one question, and it's already here for us, but it's multiple choice. We don't want that. We want to change this to file upload. So this will let people upload files, and we could just say upload your work here or something similar. You could limit it to certain files such as JPEG images or Word documents. I'm just going to leave that the way it is. You can allow them to upload more than one image or file type at a time. The number of files you add could be more than one, but let's keep that as one. And then the maximum file size. 10 should be good enough for a word process document. Most images are going to be fine with that as well, so you might want to keep it there. You could go higher. If you're going to be doing video, you could even go higher, but I'm going to say 100 megabytes. So there we go. And since why would they use this form unless they were uploading something? We'll just make that required. And that's about it. So let's see what this form looks like. We'll go view it, preview here. You see students would get this form. It would automatically collect their email, and it would ask them to upload a file by clicking the button. And then they can upload a file by clicking the button here, which will take them to what's on their computer. They can also upload from Google Drive, which I'm guessing they probably won't need to do because they could then just share it with you, but that's an option as well. I'm going to cancel out of there. This also works on a mobile phone. So if students take some pictures and you want them to share those photos with you, they can. Now I've got a very similar form that's already got data in it. Let's go look at that. So here is a very similar form that I set up earlier, and I've already gotten some responses, and you see who responded here, myself and a friend. And then these are the files that we uploaded. One was a Word document, one was a actual video. And then you can actually see the folder, the Google folder where these items reside. So here they are. And from here you could review them. Notice that my file here appended with my name. So that's really helpful so you know who submitted what. So very good that that happened. So using one of these Google Forms to collect student work is an option, and you could create different forms for different assignments. When students submit the work, you could give them view-only rights to the Google folder, so everybody could see what people turned in the class. So that's an option. Another thing you could do if you don't want to do the Google form, there is another option. Before I show you that, let me just show you one thing. If you're curious about when students turn things in, there is a spreadsheet associated with the form. So it will have a timestamp that you can see here. In terms of the Google folder that we looked at earlier, does this have a timestamp? Well, let's sort it this way. And it does look like, yeah, it does as well. So either way, you can find out when that file was uploaded and by who. But what if you don't want to use a Google form? Could you do things a little bit differently? Yes, as it turns out, you can. So here's my Google Drive, and I set up a test folder for us to look at. And I put student work folder in here. So this is a folder that students could drop things into. All we need to do is make sure we share it so that they are allowed to drop work into it. So I right mouse button click on the folder. I can pick share. And you see that I picked the settings that anyone with a link can edit. They still are going to need a Google account. So as I think through this, I think I'm going to change it to anyone at ashme.org with a link. Then I'll just make sure that these are students in our domain that are uploading things to the folder. I'm going to need to allow them add and edit access. Otherwise, they won't be able to put things in the folder. So I could say done there. And then this would be something that students could place work into. Now an issue is if students place work on here, they would be able to see each other's work and they could delete each other's work. That could be a problem. So if you really were going to do this, you might make a folder for each student. So this might be Sally S's folder. And then I might make another folder. And this might be Billy's folder. And then what I could do is just give Billy access to his folder. I could share this with Billy through his email address and allow him editing rights just to that folder. And I could do the same for Sally. Share with Sally and give her editing rights just to that folder. So if you're worried about students seeing each other's work and you don't want them to be able to delete each other's work, you would set up an individual folder for each student. Now, in terms of collecting work from students in an easy fashion, you might have a Google Doc set up where you give an assignment and then you have a Google form where students submit the assignment. So here is something I just worked up graphically, and I can actually switch back to this form, and there's going to be under Send a link option. Maybe I shorten that link just to make it a little less ugly. And I come back to my Google Doc here and I can paste that link right here so that when students need to submit that assignment, they'll click here and be taken to the form, which will be nice. You could always make this look even better. A little pencil here. We can change this to be click here. Or you might actually link the graphic. Insert link, or just the link button here, paste that. There we go. So someone could click here and get to the form, or click the link and get to the form. That works. It's similar with the Google Doc. So here it depends how you implemented that Google folder. If you're letting the entire class see each other's work and be able to edit everybody's work, then you can get the folders link overall here. Get shareable link. And link the graphic. And then people would be taken to the student submitted work folder and they could put things in here. Now if instead you're creating a folder for each student, then you would want to make Sally's folder and Billy's folder and link those individually, which is doable. So we go here and we get Sally's, get shareable link. Remember, this would just be for Sally, and you would hyperlink that up. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of what you can do to collect student work.